So let's talk about real estate, and let's talk about being a Christian real estate agent and a little bit of what that looks like. Figured in this video, I would begin to explain a little bit of the reasoning behind Realtors of Faith and why it's on my heart to go ahead and put this out there to help real estate agents who are believers and followers of Jesus, and how we can, all of us, can best represent Christ with our real estate business. Made a few notes, want to go through this and just to kind of give you an idea of why are we even doing this? What is this even all about? Well, I remember being in a room full of real estate salespeople. Not sure if it was when I was in the new home business, or which I did that for years because my dad was a builder, or if it was literally with a bunch of realtors. But I remember there was probably 50 or 100 of us in the room, and we were all together. And the gentleman who was presenting said, "What do you think about a salesperson? What do people perceive you as?" Okay, let's just not say you're a real estate agent. What do you normally think of a salesperson as? And many people raised their hands, and you can imagine all the different answers they got. It was very sobering. It was very interesting. He said, "What, dishonesty, um, uh, trying to get a quick deal, scammer, pushy, um, commission breath, not trusting, you name it." We heard that, and I went, "Wow!" And his whole point was, how do you think people perceive real estate agents are? And so, like it or not, we're salespeople. That is kind of what we do. We sell houses. Now, again, we help buyers and sellers with their real estate needs. Okay. But some people would say we sell houses. Now, you and I know you can walk in a house and we've never sold a house. The house sells itself, right? We just point out features, benefits, talk about the different parts of the house. But I've never sold a house, and I've been doing this for 28 years. I've opened up many doors and talked about the pros and the cons of a property. But as far as selling a house, you don't go in there and strong arm into buying a house. So that's not the case. We don't do it that way. But as Christ's representative, we go in there, we help people out the best we can. We're not perfect, but we do our best. So know that going into this field of being a Christian real estate agent, we go into it and people have a little bit of doubt, a little bit of mistrust, a little bit of, are you going to push me? A little bit of, I really need to believe you, what you're saying. Do you have a track record? Are you on social media? How many Google reviews do you have? Can I look you up and you're going to have a good name and reputation? There's a whole lot behind that that really happens. So, how and what makes us different? How can we be different? And the Bible talks about this in so many different ways, that we are a peculiar people. We are meant to be different, not weird, but we are to be a different type of people, the way we approach working with clients. And so let's just talk about that a little bit. The first thing is this. I think as a salesperson, man, if I had to give you three topics, the first thing would be to be honest. Honesty and integrity. And there are two separate things, but just being honest with people when you are talking to them, it makes such a difference because people aren't used to that. Now, I love being honest with people. I love presenting my thoughts, my opinion, and then they can make the decision with what I'm presenting to them. But as far as honesty, it's a little bit of a long lost art, if the truth be told, right? And honesty means being honest with your clients in every situation, whether it costs you a commission, whether it costs you, the next deal, whether it costs you a listing, whether it costs you working with somebody. Being honest with people is absolutely one of the foundational aspects of being a Christian real estate agent. 100%. So, so important. And I can give you so many examples. My business partner and I, Russ, have been doing this over 50 years combined. Have been licensed 27, 28 years. So a long time. And we can just tell you of numerous occasions we got to actually present the truth and be honest with people, and people are like blown away, like, what? How? Why would you? Because here's what we know, that God blesses that God blesses the truth. And when we treat people with respect and we're honest with people and we truly help them out for their needs, not for our selfish desires, it's amazing what happens. So, okay, I'm going to stop there on honesty. Let's go to being kind and empathetic. I think as a real estate agent and trying to help people with their largest purchasing decision they're ever going to make in their life, which is buying a home or selling a home, it's a big deal for you to have empathy with them and to be nice to them, to be kind, right? That's just one of the fruits of the spirit, right? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, right? Faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. That's part of how we're supposed to act toward them, as kind. I'm amazed that whenever we get, I get a phone call, it's a little bit of a random lead, somebody just calling to, inquire about something, whether it works or not. You're just kind to them. You're just nice. People appreciate that. Number one, they appreciate you picking up the phone. Because how many of us know a lot of real estate agents don't pick up their phone, which is just so odd. Our business is to communicate with people. So weird. But to just being kind to people, being nice to them, trying to help them with their needs, being empathetic. If they're walking through something tough, was going to have a listing appointment this week down in Bartow, and it's a couple, and unfortunately, they're going through a divorce situation. We're going to take pictures and list the home here tomorrow, but I got a text from the husband last night saying it's just not a good time. They're still trying to work things out, which, man, that would be awesome if they did. I prayed for them this morning with that. Not trying, they're trying to figure out the house, their family, and he was very apologetic. I'm like, man, dude, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I just hope you guys can work things out. And if I'm here, if you need me, you just let me know. And he was very understanding. So I was being empathetic in his situation. Now, I'm not always the best at that. I'm going to tell you that straight up. That is sometimes hard for me to do. We want to get things done, make it happen. Let's get it sold. Let's go. Let's find you a house. Let's get the listing sold. I mean, I'm all about that. Um, but we know that God calls us to be kind to people, to have empathy, to bear one another's burdens when it comes to um, helping each other out regarding real estate. So just being empathetic is huge. Putting the relationships first. I think this is a relationship business, as you know. We are in this to help each other. And my business partner and I have been able to build a very successful career by building relationships over the long haul. Now, it's again, it's a long track record and it's taken a long time to do this, but that's not to say you can't, as a newer agent, build relationships and be successful within the first couple years. 100% possible, right? Social media and YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everything. There's so many different platforms you can build that, and to be able to build those relationships even quicker, because it's really one relationship at a time, right? And when you have a referral business that's based on relationships, it's the best because they already know, like, and trust you. You already have that. It's like a warm lead. You're coming in there and they already say, oh, okay, he treated my friends, the Joneses, great. So I believe he's going to help me the same way. But then you still have to perform. You still have to do your thing. So um, relationships first. And back to the honesty thing, being a straight shooter. I think the older I get, the more seasoned I get as a real estate agent, as a person, it's just easier to shoot it straight because people want the truth. They want you just to not only, sometimes they want the truth, but a lot of them just want it straight head on. And I'm fine with that. Yeah, I mean, walked in this house the other day and it's got great bones. That's always like a protected of like what's coming up. But man, it was still out. It was like 50 years old, needed a lot of updating. Really nice people. And I said, it needs a whole complete renovation pretty much. Now, I mean, it's not, you don't need to gut it, but it had old paneling on there. So they painted the paneling, which turned out very nice, by the way. It still needs flooring. complete flooring. The kitchens and the baths need to be remodeled. They're work, but they're pretty nasty. They're very dated. And so I told him, I said, this is definitely, this could take minimum $20 to $30,000 to fix up. So we need to price it reflecting of that, because the feedback is already going to be whenever we list it. You already know what it's going to be. Let me just tell you as a professional, here's what buyers and agents are going to say is it needs a lot of work. Duh, we know it needs a lot of work. That's the reason we priced it where we priced it. But you're going to get that feedback. And so as an agent, as an honest agent, I just shoot it straight with them. Why wait until the feedback starts coming in? And that'll reinforce what we've already talked about. But to have clear expectations up front, to be honest and to be straightforward, I've found it's a great approach. People appreciate that. So super important. Serving one another. Man, we could just go on about this. I'm sure you've heard amazing sermons at your church, wherever you're attending worship. But serving one another, just like Jesus did, right? Jesus came what? Jesus came to serve, not to be served. So the heart of a Christian real estate agent, what we always have to ask God every day is, God, help me to serve those people you put in front of me. God, help me to be a servant. Use me to die to my selfish desires, to not just think about myself, not just to be self-concerned, but to think about others, put others' needs ahead of my own needs, and to serve them. Now that can take so many different avenues and roads of serving your clients, right? And I'm sure y'all have some great, amazing stories about how you served your clients. And if you do, please put those in the comments below. I think that would really encourage one another. That'd be awesome. It'd be fun to do a video just to how different ways we've actually served one another, helped other clients out and served them, not to brag on us, but to brag on God, knowing that we gave him the glory when we served other people in this respect, in this way. So serving one another is super important. Being a problem solver, that is part of our calling in this business. As a real estate agent, we solve problems. That's what we do. There's always challenges in a real estate transaction, right? Rarely do you go from a date of contract, date of effective date, to when you close 30 or 45 days without a problem, without an issue. There's always going to be something, right? It's a real estate transaction. I think the stat is that by the time you go under contract and the day you close, oh man, I can't, the 60 or 70% of the time, something is going to change in that real estate transaction, meaning what? And this is navigating troubled waters, right? This is inspections. These are repairs. These are appraisal issues. Maybe there's a title issue. Maybe there's a financing issue. Whatever that looks like, there's something that's going to change. So we have to be good problem solvers so that we can help navigate those waters for our clients. Be honest with them, shoot it straight, look out for their interests, serve them, give them good sound advice, give them wisdom as much as we can, as much as we know, or ask others on your team to do that. We love doing that. I'm telling you, that's fun. I'm realizing the older I get as an agent, the more I get to help other agents out, which is just amazing. Russ and I both love doing that. So problem solvers, we are problem solvers. Just a couple other things. Colossians talks about what? Doing our job, doing our work into the Lord, not into man. So when we get up every day, we want to do our lead generation. We want to serve our clients. We want to go on listing appointments, write contracts, negotiate contracts, open houses. We want to do everything we can to the glory of God, to honor him. That is really why we do what we do. And so we don't work hard unto men, but we work hard unto God. And when we do that, we give him all the glory and the honor and the praise for what's supposed to happen. I will tell you this. I was telling my team this the other day. Had a listing over in the Winter Haven area. I'm in Central Florida. And I had this listing on the market for literally like a year. I mean, it was on a beautiful chain of lakes, beautiful home. I said beautiful location. The home was nice. It was sound. But it was very outdated, 50, 60 years old, right? Beautiful terrazzo floors, which were nice, with the kitchen, the baths, the carpeting, the painting, the outside, you name it. It just really needed a good, solid 50 to $100,000. Working with these folks, super nice, very, very nice. Um, we would get a couple offers and it would be the same thing. And so after a year, I just really wasn't sure if I was supposed to continue to help these people with this listing. I tried. I was honest with them. I felt like they just weren't flexing on the pricing or some of the strategies. And so I'm like, Lord, I think I'm good. I'm because sometimes, how many of you know this? Sometimes it's good just to let go of stuff, and God will take it from you. Or it's a good time to go. I tried, man. Sorry. Thank you for letting me try to sell your house. I've tried, but I think it's just time for us both to part ways. And we still like you. You're very nice. It's a business relationship also. So let's just part ways. So I had a discussion with my client and we were talking about that. But they wanted me to continue to hang on to it. And I was like, oh, okay. I had every intention when I initiated the conversation to say, let's just part ways. Thank you for letting me try to help you. At the end of the conversation, they talked me into keeping the listing, which again, less than a month later, we got an offer acceptable to them. We closed like at the year mark. I was ready to give up. I was ready to be done. I was not having patience. God taught me a lesson in that, just to have patience, to think of the long term, to really work with people, um, to let God handle the details. And I heard a pastor say this weekend. Now, many people just believe in God. Even the demons do, as it says in scriptures. Even the demons believe in God. But do you want to believe God, God Himself? Do you want to trust God Himself that He is going to see you through the situation? In that case, I just had to trust God. I had to believe in God that He was going to do it. Um, it was it was amazing. It was a miracle. I thank God for that. I thank God for His grace and His mercy, which He bestowed upon me at that time because I was definitely not worthy of it. And I think God almost smiles. I don't think He laughs at us, but I think He was just smiling, going, "Son, just trust me. Just trust me." Oh, and I'll say hundreds. There's a lot of stories just like that. So um, I think basically, just to kind of wrap up this video, just really helping one another, serving one another, helping out your clients, those people, those buyers, sellers, appraisers, real estate agents that God puts in front of you to help and to serve, realizing that God is putting all these people in our path for a reason, for a season, or some of them forever, right? Typically, it's for a reason or a season. Now, some realtors you'll work with for a lot of your career, and those are great relationships to have. Uh, but with buyers and sellers, usually it's for a short window, right? Depending on your marketplace. Typically, it's under a year. I hope so. You may get a listing and sell 2 or 3 months, close month 4. You've had a great short-term relationship with these people, which then you built into the relationship, which then turns into a long-time client who refer their friends, their family to you whenever they're looking to buy or sell again. An average of 7 years, people move. They're going to look you up again. Those repeat clients. There's nothing better than that. But when we help one another, and really, I want to just say, man, when we work with one another as real estate agents, it's a beautiful thing. The professionalism that we have in our business and the respect and how we are on each other's team, in a sense, we're all trying to work together. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. So I hope this video has encouraged you and helped you today to see why a realtor of faith um, can really make a difference. So we're going to be doing a lot of unpacking, a lot of different angles to this. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Subscribe to this. Please reach out to me. We'd love to connect with you. All right. Have a great rest of the day. God bless.